G'day gang. Made some progress on a little Festi. It's pretty much now just got the exhaust to be put through it. We sorted out the reason it kept on falling on its face. When you just get off the idle, just open him up just that little bit, and she'd go blah, and it wouldn't matter, it'd just fall on its face, no matter even how hard you or how you tried to rev it up. The only way you could get it to rev is just by flash threading it like that. So I suspected the problem being originally was a fuel problem, and remember I moved the TPS forward, advanced it, and we could actually get it to go somewhere. But again, it wasn't making boost. It wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. We messed around with the fuel pressure. I've got the pressure set where it's supposed to be. That's probably 35 psi. I don't know what it does under boost. I'm going to get Paulie to get the camera down there and see what I can see if it increases once we get some boost into it. I'll boost it up on the clutch and just load it a little bit, and we'll see what happens there. But the whole problem was that it has this, I think I showed you guys, has this fuel cut defender. And what this does is when the engine revs get to a certain point, it starts to shut the fuel down so you can't rev any further. And this needing more fuel, you can increase or adjust the reading that comes out of the vacuum. You can read the manifold vacuum, and you can trick the computer by changing the value of the wire, the center wire, the signal wire. Well, the problem was that defender jigger was actually wired into the power side, and there was no map sensor. That's why it wouldn't do what it was supposed to be doing. It wouldn't rev. Now when you start it, you can just do what you like. She's beautiful. It is running really lean now. I did advance the timing a tick. It is breaking down when you start to get up into revs, and I believe that is because we don't have enough fuel for it to support anything over probably 5 pounds at the moment of boost. And I can't stop it from, well, when we went for a ride on it, ride in it yesterday up the road, it made, as soon as it got to 6 psi of boost, it was starting to splutter, and if you tried to drive on through it, which is probably not a great idea, and it got to 8 pounds of boost, and I think we're still alright. I don't think she's blown. No, the oil's still good. Temperature was really good, and yeah, so I suppose what we best do, I want to see if I can get this to not make that high pressure, that high boost. So I'm going to take the blanket off it, and I've just gone straight from the housing, from the outlet housing to the wastegate. So as soon as this gets to what we're going to set this at 5 pounds, I have to get in here, take the blanket off, get in here under the little clip that holds the wastegate on, get in here and lengthen this just a little bit, because I think this is actually a little bit too tight. I had all this off when I made the bracket up for the wastegate, if you recall. So I'm just going to get in here, and actually what we should do is, yeah, I'm going to take this blanket off before we go for a ride, and we'll just see what happens now. It's it'll be on the gate pressure. Yeah, so if you look here, you see there's like a preload on the gate to where that is. So I've got to actually stretch this on, and I think I've got a little bit more than 5 pounds on it. So I'm just going to back this out a couple of turns like that and plop him back on. Now I did read somewhere that if you sort of overlap those two, they should make like an 8, if you know what I mean. Like if you overlap those, looking at them. So I really want this to be in the middle of that, the bottom of that. Where are we? Where's my little pointer? I want this surface here to be in line with the middle of that, which it's not quite. So we'll wind him out a little bit more. That might be about the limit there, I think. And that's where I'm going to leave it. I'll just pull all this back together again, clip it up. We'll put the blanket back over the top of it. We'll go for a bit of a jig up the road and we'll see what goes on. Now this jigger here, we had a pretty good play with it yesterday, and at the moment this is all the way to the right, less 2 clicks, and that's where it seems to like it at the moment. Now what I'm thinking also is that we may have to put in maybe some 1500, like some injectors out of a 1.5 engine, just to give it, just to let a little bit more fuel, maybe even a 2 litre, so the duty cycle can remain the same, but it'll pour more fuel into it because it is lean at the moment. But she makes choo-choo noises, and yeah, we'll check this fuel pressure. Actually, before I do, that's the finished product. No? Not too shabby. Yeah, I think so. So that's the boost controller we've disabled because I don't think it's doing what it's supposed to be doing anyway. I'm going to start up. I'll get Paulie to hold the camera and see what the fuel pressure is. It's recording now. You can see the gauge there.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start it. I'm going to load it on the. We'll watch what the pressure does.
Okay.
When it runs, and then when I load it up, I want to see whether or not the pressure drops away or whether we get an increase.
Okay.
When we, because I'll get it into boost. There's no problem there. No, misfire.
Ah.
5 pounds.
Yeah.
It's a bit of clutch.
Yeah,
Cool.
Smells good.
Okay, so we've solved that problem. Now I think we'll go for a bit of a road, or a bit of a scoot up the road, mate, and just see if she breaks up again.
And do.
Oh, nice. All right, we'll see what happens. When it starts to come into boost, I want you to have a look down that gauge and see what it says.
Yep, 5.
Hey? 5 pounds?
Yep.
And it's got a little nice little pull, hasn't it?
That felt nice. That wasn't really flat.
Oh, when we get down this other street here. I don't know if that's measuring. Could be.
Fuck, what a difference.
5 pounds on the nose.
Yeah, what a difference.
Perfect.
It's a huge difference.
Screw your bloody boost controllers.
Yeah. Yeah. We got something that works.
Feels alright now to drive, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like you accelerate. Starting to burn through the starting to blow through the clutch. Starting to blow through the clutch. If you're watching that, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so engine's running fine. Might want a clutch. might put one in it that's a little bit beefier than a standard one, I think.
Yeah, maybe. I'll get one more.
think to myself, how can we get that boost down? And I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll manually adjust it to what I think is correct.
Yeah.
And we'll just go straight off the wastegate.
Okay.
And that's what we're doing now. So we're going straight off the wastegate, no boost controller. We want more boost to have to wind it in via that
something about some brakes a bit later.
maybe.
Feels like I got 2 clutches.
Don't need brakes where we're going, mate.
No, that's it. That's exactly right.
But I think that's all right now. That's putting it in the seat for a 1.3. It's going okay, isn't it?
It's going good. Yeah. I know it'll beat the ribbon up the road.
Okay, so let's take a guesstimate of what that cost. 300 for a turbo.
Yeah,
thereabouts?
Yeah, 300, yeah.
About $100 worth of bits and pieces.
Yeah, the engine.
Bit of time.
Yep.
Double the horsepower easily.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely likes it now. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Next we'll put a blow-off valve on it, so she goes.
I've got something inside, I'll show you. I bought it. Terry.
Yeah?
Yeah, Terry picked it out. Oh, Terry pointed it out to me, so I bought one.
Oh, there we go. All sorted. Yeah, that looks pretty good, that. I think it's quite good. Anyway, a success was had today. We'll check you all later. Have yourselves a good one. Cheers.